So I made a video not that long ago talking about Steve Harrington's character growth throughout Stranger Things, and I had a lot of fun making that video. And I wanted to make another video down the line talking about Eddie Munson, because Eddie Munson is a character that a lot of people love from Stranger Things, and because Eddie just has so many things to love about his character, and I'm just super excited to talk about him in this video. So before I dive into this, if you guys have any thoughts when it comes to him as a whole, like if you guys wanted to share anything when it comes to your favorite moments of Eddie, or just anything in general, like I always say, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And Eddie honestly has a lot of fans. Like, even though he was in one season of Stranger Things, a lot of people just love this character just based on the impact that he had within that season itself. And it's very understandable, because I also really enjoy Eddie's character as well. And probably one of the things I do want to talk about as well, especially when it comes to character and what really makes them stand out, is Eddie's personality, because Eddie definitely has a very unique personality that really makes him stand out as a character in Stranger Things. And pretty much like the kind of personality that Eddie has as well is like when you get introduced to him for like the very first time, he has like that tough guy attitude, if that makes any sense. Like if you guys like ever ran across people that had like that tough guy attitude where they wanted to put on a show in front of others in order to like get a reaction out of them, or in order to strike fear around those people around them, that's basically like how Eddie was when you first got introduced to him. But as you learn more about his character as you're watching season 4 of Stranger Things, you learn more about his character, and you learn that he's kind of like a big softy inside, where he has all these different kinds of feelings bundled up. And then eventually, once you go further into that season, you start learning more about him, because like deep down, like as you start to understand Eddie more and more, he's pretty much still a kid inside, and he just wants to be loved and accepted by many people, which is very understandable, because we've seen people like this, like not just in Stranger Things, but we've seen people like this before in other shows or other movies or whatever the case may be. It could even be a video game, but we've always seen characters like this before, where they show a certain side of them to people, but once you get to really know the person, you don't really know how they're truly feeling inside. And that's a very relatable thing when it comes to Eddie's character, especially when it comes to his personality, because there's a lot of people that could probably relate to that sort of thing, where they're afraid to show their true colors because they're afraid how people are going to react to them. So that's one of the things I absolutely love when it comes to Eddie showing off his personality in Stranger Things, because it's something that really makes him stand out, and it really makes you invested in the character, because you just want to learn all of these different kinds of things about them. I mean, that's the kind of characters I get attached to normally when I'm watching any sort of movie or TV show. So Eddie definitely caught my interest when it came to things like that. And obviously, like another thing that's like super awesome about Eddie as well is when it comes to his relationship with his friends, which is always something I look forward to every single time I'm watching a TV show or a movie, or like I said, whatever sort of medium it is, because it's always very interesting to see how certain characters, like Eddie, for example, interact around other people around them. Because what we see, like with Eddie, especially throughout season 4 of Stranger Things, is that Eddie's always willing to do anything for his friends. Like Eddie's pretty much that kind of character, like when it really comes down to it, he's pretty much like one of those friends that you would probably come across in your life, where it's either like a ride or die kind of situation, because he would pretty much like put himself on the line, even if he had to sacrifice himself like he did in Stranger Things, in order to help somebody like Dustin, and also to just be a distraction for like all the Demobats in Stranger Things, because of the whole plan that they were trying to do around that time, and they were trying to stop Vecna. So he's that kind of character that just really cares about the people around him, and that's very heroic, which is one of the things I have to admire about Eddie's character, because at first when you get introduced to him, you know, he doesn't really know what to do with himself. But as he progresses as a character throughout Stranger Things, he goes from somebody that's like really hard to come out of that shell to eventually break out of that shell, and you just see like how heroic he is, and he just honestly has like a heart of gold. He's such a lovable and sweet character, and that's just something that I could really appreciate for the character. I mean, it's kind of hard not to like Eddie. Eddie just has like all these unique qualities that like really makes him stand out as a character, so it's really hard not to like this character. I mean, I know straight off the bat when I got introduced to this character, I knew he was going to be something special, and he definitely was, as you saw the kind of character that he turned into later into the season. I mean, either it's just the kind of person he is, or when it comes to his relationship with his friends, or his obsession with D&D, his obsession with this rock and roll music, or whatever the case may be, he's just a very entertaining character, and I can appreciate, like, you know, the awkwardness of the character and the humor that Eddie has had many times throughout Stranger Things as well. And it makes me get really invested in his character, and I can appreciate that from the Duffer Brothers, because when it comes to a character that I really want to invest some time into, you got to give me something to work with, and the Duffer Brothers definitely did that with Eddie throughout Stranger Things, and I absolutely love that. Honestly, like, just talking about like the whole story of Eddie overall, like, if you guys want me to just break down like what Eddie's story was throughout that season of Stranger Things, like all the way up until the very end of that season, I mean, pretty much in a nutshell, it's just showing Eddie's redemption story. Like I went over in the beginning of this video, he comes off as like this bully where he seems like he just wants to always get into everybody's face and just cause a lot of trouble. But as you see throughout the season of Stranger Things, you just see he eventually becomes a true friend to everybody. He cares a lot about them. He's willing to help them because he just wants the best for everybody. And then you eventually, you know, get that emotional scene where he's willing to put his life on the line to save everybody. And it's just like very interesting to see overall, like, especially like when you pay attention to like everything that he went through within that season itself. It was just like a very emotional thing to think about, especially when you're looking back at Eddie towards the end of that season. You're just seeing his father destroyed inside because he lost his son, but Dustin going out there and saying that, you know, he's really changed as a person and he's a hero to a lot of people, because if it wasn't for him, then he wouldn't have saved all of these lives. And that's something that you can really acknowledge for what Eddie did, and I absolutely love Eddie because of that, because Eddie honestly just had a lot of impact on a lot of the characters in the show, because one of the things that he did a very good job at was to bring the best out of each and every single one of those characters. And it just goes to show that, you know, one character can make a huge difference and just change them in so many ways. And I'm just always fascinated when it comes to stories like that. Those are my overall thoughts on like Eddie Munson. Like, I absolutely love the character. He's one of my favorite characters in Stranger Things. So I'm really happy that I had the opportunity today to make a video and talk about him, because he definitely deserves his own video, because he definitely did have an impact in the Stranger Things universe. And I'm super excited that I'm able to share my thoughts on this character for other people as well. So if you guys have anything you want to say about Eddie, like I mentioned earlier in the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, like your overall thoughts on the character, or anything that you just want to share with me overall. Just be sure to let me know down below. And if you guys enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you guys want to check out my other content on the channel, be sure to do so as well. And if you guys want to check out my social media, see what I'm doing outside of YouTube, be sure to check out my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook page, and my TikTok. All of that is located in the description below. As always, be sure to click on that bell for notifications so you guys know when a video comes up on the channel. But other than that, I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.